Let me begin the video this week by bringing you up to date on one more consequence of disaffiliating. We've talked to Stockyard Bank, where we have a $1.1 million loan balance. If Middletown United Methodist Church does not exist and a new congregation is formed, the new congregation would have to apply, and applying doesn't guarantee approval, for a loan to cover the balance. Our current loan is at 3.5% interest rate, and it's almost certain that a new loan would be at a higher interest rate. So just one more consequence for you to consider. This week I want to respond to a question that came from the survey about misinformation. There's some relatively insignificant misinformation out there. A leader in the Global Methodist Church commented in a series of popular videos that the United Methodist Church is splitting into two denominations, the United Methodist Church and the Global Methodist Church. Well, that's incorrect. Yes, some churches are joining the Global Methodist Church, but some are staying independent, some are joining other denominations like the Free Methodist Church. So the denomination is not splitting into two denominations. In that same video series, the presenter says, if you want to be Methodist in the future, you will need to join the Global Methodist Church. He didn't explain what he meant by that statement. However, if he meant Methodist is in the name, well, that isn't true. There are several denominations with Methodist in their name. If he meant theologically, that isn't true either. There are several denominations that have a Wesleyan theology. And then there are some subtle misinformation out there. It's been published that the 13 newly elected bishops are all progressive and that they make up a third of the 40-member Council of Bishops. Well, the Council of Bishops has 60 active members. The Global Methodist Church is aggressively encouraging churches to leave the United Methodist Church and join with them. And in doing so, they're providing some misinformation. Other misinformation may be more misleading, and you'll have to decide on that. But folks on both sides of the equation are making opinion statements as if they're fact, particularly around issues at the upcoming General Conference. And the fact is, we don't know what's going to happen at General Conference. However, people who are making claims that are not yet fact, those wanting to disaffiliate are saying that you've got to get out of the United Methodist Church now because General Conference will close the door and not let churches leave. Those wanting congregations to stay United Methodist are saying General Conference will provide a way for churches to continue to disaffiliate. The fact is, no one knows what General Conference will do, but opinion statements are being communicated as fact. Some other misleading information is the broad brush that is being painted about the United Methodist Church. You will hear and read quotes that are being lifted up as proof of the progressive advance in the United Methodist Church. Well, from the very first day the denomination was formed in 1968, there has been a progressive element, and so this is nothing new. And the problem with lifting up one-sentence quotes to prove the progressive stand is we don't know the context. We don't know what was said before or after. We don't know if the person meant what was said in the way that it's being presented. All of us at one time or another have said something and immediately thought, oh, I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't have said it that way. And also, bishops, pastors, seminary presidents, and professors are being lifted up as theologically progressive, and some of them are. But what is being implied is that all bishops, clergy, seminary presidents, and professors are theologically progressive, and that's simply not true. I've warned you all from the very beginning to be aware of biased opinions. Biased opinions will always present the other side as worse than they are and present themselves as better than they are. I have read or listened to very little that's neutral about the issues that we're facing. We tend to believe anything that agrees with our position without verifying it. However, I challenge you to question everything you hear and read, and don't take anyone's word for it unless you can prove it yourself. Now, the discernment team will formulate a recommendation this week, and so be looking for an email late Friday afternoon informing you of that recommendation. And as always, if you have questions, don't hesitate to call, text, or email me. I hope you have a great week.